out there? Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. I'll tell you more about that why I wasn't here last week in my message today, because after all, it is all about me. Okay, just kidding. So hey, if this is your first Sunday here, welcome. I'm Kity Benson. I'm the minister here at Unity, and we have scads of people who show up here early on Sunday mornings to help create this sacred space together. Grateful so much for Highest Good and our band. Grateful for the tech team at the back. Grateful for all the people out front who welcomed you and got some goodies out for you. Created that sacred space there too. And it's our opportunity, if you're watching online, we're so grateful to have you here. I know that visually we cannot see you, but we feel you. We can feel your loving energy coming our way, so thank you for that. And it's an opportunity for us today to do what we do every week. Remember the truth of who we are as spiritual beings, having this lovely human experience. Talk more about that later today. And one of the ways that we do this is by just opening our hearts and singing. The words will be up here on the screen. And I always encourage you to pay attention, even if you've sung it 1,000 times. Pay attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth, because we're singing these songs for a reason. They hold truth. They talk about who you are. And hopefully it'll be a little earworm that sinks into your subconscious and shows up later in the week when you really need to hear something. So if you like to sing standing up, now's your chance. Otherwise, stay seated and let's have some fun.
think upon higher things a lot this week. I'm going to admit. That's why I'm so grateful on Sunday mornings. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. It's a reminder. May we all be reminded to think upon these higher things every moment and to align with that wisdom and that truth and that understanding. We're going to align with the very life of God. No, we're not going to. We are aligned with the very life of God. Yeah? Some of you are like, what? We affirm it this morning. Try it again. Here we go. I align with the vibrant life within me. All health is mine. I am whole and I am free. I align with the vibrant life within me. All health is mine. I am whole and I am free. I flow. I flow into the pure stream, harmonizing, healing, pure stream, awakening, renewing, pure stream, moving in and through me now. The life of God in me, the life of God in me is a pure stream. I am guided by the dance of life moving as me. All I ever was and all I'll ever be. I am guided by the dance of life moving as me. All I ever was and all I'll ever be. I flow. I flow into the pure stream, harmonizing, healing, pure stream, awakening, renewing, pure stream, moving in and through me now. The life of God in me, oh, the life of God in me is a pure stream. Oh, the life of God in me, the life of God in me. Declare with me, the life of God in me is a pure stream.
Take that deep breath. Just feel that pure stream moving through you. The breath of life, harmonizing, healing, renewing. We're so grateful, Spirit, to be in this presence day in and day out. A pure stream enlivening, strengthening, balancing, revealing our natural well-being. This is the truth of who we are in spirit, and now we let it be in the human. And so it is. Amen. And will you help me speak our invocation? The words are up here on the screen. Together, there's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you. You may be seated.
perfection shaped by Spirit's hand, and I embrace my wholeness, and in my wholeness here I stand. Healing is remembering, healing is remembering, healing is just remembering who I am. And I exhale my perfection, perfection shaped by Spirit's hand. And I embrace my wholeness, and in my wholeness here I stand. Healing is remembering, healing is remembering, healing is just remembering who I am. And healing is remembering, healing is remembering, healing is just remembering who I am. And healing is remembering, healing is remembering, healing is just remembering who I am.
I needed that. Thanks for the hot water, Julie. How you doing? So, if you're new watching online or new here in the room, especially new to Unity, this is a topic that is really one of the foundations that Unity was born out of. And it's approached from an interesting point of view. So I'm just going to ask you to take a breath if you've never heard me speak on this topic before, because it's a little heady. But the thing that's interesting about Unity, part of what we call the New Thought movement, is that it's a story about how the spirituality of God integrates into the physicality of science. And it really does help to give your attention to both when you're trying to understand these principles. And to me, that's what makes Unity practical Christianity. It's taking Jesus' teachings that sound so lyrical in the scriptures and actually give them methodology, tools, so that we can put them to use. Any one of us can put these tools to use if we understand the spiritual principles behind them. And I wasn't here last week, as you may know, because I had the mundane human experience of the stomach flu. And just your sound reminds me that you probably have also had that experience and you can relate. And I can't tell you the number of times I've stood out in that front room and had y'all come out after the service and say, gosh, Kity, you were talking right to me. How do you always know what's going on in my life? And my honest answer is, I really am just talking to me. What I need to hear. And if it happened to you this week too, then, well, that's what oneness is all about, right? Well, it could be better. Let's put it that way. So today I'm going to be talking to me, and you can join in and hopefully receive from what I have to say. And for the next few weeks, what we're going to be doing is talking about the teachings of unity that are just a little bit different from your mainstream Protestant church. We still see Jesus as our way shower. We still study, his works and his words and find ways to apply them in our life, bringing in these spiritual principles that are universal and find out what's behind them. And what we're doing here is we're establishing an understanding form of faith, not a blind faith, but a faith that gets why it can be the way it is. So I like to start kind of with the ideal when I'm talking about a topic so that we can make sense out of it. And one of the things that unity teaches and really was born out of, as I said earlier, is the subject of healing. Physical healing of the body, of the mind, of your emotions. And especially physical healing we'll talk about today. I want you to consider what's behind it. What's behind healing? Start from the premise that you are a spiritual being. One of our spiritual 5 principles says that God is the only presence and power, and each one of us is an extension of that presence and power. The omnipresence of God also expresses as us. Now, it's in a physical universe, and the body is a physical apparatus, so we have to count that as part of the scenario when we're trying to figure out how to get healthy. But start from the premise that in the mind of God are infinite divine ideas, one of which is a body. One body in the mind of God. It can be born looking different from each other, but basically there's a blueprint for what a human body is meant to be and do. And part of the characteristic of the body is it's designed in the mind of God for well-being. So there was no blueprint that said, and this arm will fall off when it's overtaxed, and this foot will hurt when you walk too much. It's just designed for well-being. Start with that premise in the mind of God. Designed for well-being, designed to be healthy. So a lot of times we think that our health comes from going to the doctor and getting medicine, getting treatments of some kind. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. But 100% of the time, what is available to us for well-being is that idea of what the body is meant to look like. So I'm going to share some words with you today from many different authors along this New Thought movement. And we'll talk more about New Thought later in this series. But starting with John Randolph Price, some of you took a class with me about his book called The Super Beings. It's a powerful book, and here's what he says about this pattern. Within the consciousness of God mind, is the idea of the perfect body. And this ideal pattern is constantly seeking to renew the body after itself. When our mind is in tune with its Christ nature, it becomes harmonious, and this state of consciousness will maintain order in the bodily functions. Was there a word that stood out to you as the key to health and well-being? Consciousness. That's how we relate to God. in consciousness, opening our mind to the ideas of God, aligning our thoughts with the thoughts of God. And so according to John Randolph Price, when our mind is in tune with the Christ nature within us, that Spirit of God within us, when we're thinking thoughts like God thinks thoughts, then we're setting the stage for the body, the physical body, to express itself in health and well-being. So up here on the screen, let me show you this little bullseye to help us see the levels of consciousness that we live in. And the yellow center is who you are as a spiritual being. And it's your eternal nature. It's your eternal self that will live on beyond the body. You will never lose a moment of consciousness once you escape the body. It'll be just like stepping into another room. I'm still here. Okay, I will admit, I went to someone once who was considered a medium after my mom passed, and I wanted to hear from my mom. And I knew it was my mom the minute she said, "It's the same old me." In her mind, she was the same person. So that true person of us is a divine mind expressing itself uniquely as you, as my mom, as me. And it's constantly trying to express itself in this human experience using this apparatus to get around. So the veil comes down after we land in this body, and we forget that. And that intermediate level of consciousness we refer to as the subconscious, it's intended to receive that information from your higher self and then allow it to express in the body and in your life. And it happens when our vibrational pattern aligns with spirit. I'm in church and I'm talking about vibrational patterns. What is going on in the world? Welcome to Unity, okay? So think of everything in the universe is energy, and everything in the universe is the omnipresence of God. God is energy. You are energy. Everything we see and can touch is energy. And it's got its own unique vibrations going on, depending on what it is. You've probably stepped into a room and run across a person who is really grumpy. That's their grumpy vibration. On the other hand, you're greeted by children and they're all smiling and laughing, and that's their vibration of joy. And you can feel both. We exchange energy all the time. So ideally, in the mind of God, here's this pattern for an ideal body, and it's communicating to the cells in the body what each cell is meant to do. Divine intelligence in God mind talks to the divine intelligence in your cells. Every cell has intelligence telling it what to do. So as long as we're letting the voice come through that middle layer, the cells take instruction and express from their highest point of view. And so we go from divine mind to intelligence cells having a communication and expressing as they're told to do. That's the ideal. Can you picture that in your mind? Okay, hang in there with me. So if you've been here long enough, you know that our founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, both had healing experiences that were extraordinary. And they go on to write and to pray with people. And one of the things that Myrtle said was, instead of thinking about our apparent condition, she's talking about when we're sick, we are to concentrate our attention upon God, that we may become so aware of God's presence and God's perfect pattern of life and God's qualities that we will forget old errors and dissolve the conditions that we've built upon from dependence on something or someone outside of ourselves, that which is unlike God. So as long as our thoughts in conscious mind are aligned with the divine mind thoughts, there's communication going on, and if it does not happen, it means that we need to rethink. We need to change our attention and our focus and put them in the direction of the Spirit within us. When Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you," he wasn't kidding. There is a spiritual dimension intertwined here. And as long as we keep thinking from the spiritual dimension thoughts, we are informing the rest of the body and the physical how to behave. And of course, the thing that causes dis-ease to set in is when our vibrations separate. And spirit will never change. It will always be in this higher realm. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. The perfection of the divine idea is always present. And our conscious mind usually informed by the subconscious and the memories and all the past experiences we've had, can be thinking much lower thoughts. It could be about the body, but just thinking thoughts about someone you don't like at work and you can't stand being there every day with them, or some in-law that you've got problems with, or your finances are wreaking havoc. Anything can take your vibration aligned with spirit down into the toilet. And in that toilet is where dis-ease is created, because we're not paying attention to the relationship between the divine and the physical body. So from some of our teachings way back when in Unity's Institute, it says that we function in a physical form, which is an out-picturing of our current level of consciousness under the law of mind action. Okay, take a breath here, because what it's saying is what you're expressing in your body is just an out-picturing of what we're holding deeply in consciousness. We've been thinking about for years. We've been feeling for years. And when we let that go long enough, it out-pictures in the body. Remember that divine law that we teach, that thoughts held in mind produce in kind. My thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs build my life experience and my body. And Eric Butterworth started to acknowledge that doctors are coming to accept the evidence that many ills are emotionally induced. Doctors are coming to accept, I already said that. And the secret of healing of any kind is to correct the conditions that are impeding the natural flow of life by altering the states of consciousness. So back to the bullseye again. It's changing colors here. Divine mind is still there, present, sending out the information to the intelligence of your cells, saying this is how to express your ideal body. But in the middle here, that veil, that subconscious level that we're not usually aware of, but the body is, that vibrational pattern gets out of line by all those reasons that I talked about. Things are not going well in your life. So your energy goes from contentment and peace and allowing to resistance and anger and fear. When you live in those lower, slower vibrations chronically, you're now dropping out of sync with the information that the spirit is trying to send to you. And so that's when error thoughts that basically say, I have to fight this person in order to get what I need. That type of error thought is what lowers our thinking and interrupts the communication between the higher and the lower self. And when you interrupt the communication of divine intelligence to your cells, the cells just go rogue. They don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to hang on to their health and well-being as best they can, but they're too busy feeling mad about something, or they're too busy feeling scared about something. And they lose that connection so that the body begins to express with dis-ease. This is what interferes with our health and well-being. And Myrtle discovered what interfered with hers, and Charles discovered what interfered with his, but it's also something that can be transformed by the renewing of our mind. One of my favorite teachers on healing is Esther Hicks. And one of the things that she said was the continual realigning process hinges on cellular communication from one cell to another, that's within the physical body, and vibrational communication between the physical and non-physical aspects of those cells. And when you're feeling negative emotion, you're in the state of hindering that cellular communication. Physical and non-physical are seeking communication and must have it in order to experience its natural state of well-being. But when we're feeling negative emotion, you're in the state of hindering that cellular communication, resulting in negative physical symptoms. Is any of this making sense yet? Yes. Okay, so we teach a lot of different things in Unity to help us get back into alignment. And the most common teaching is about using our consciousness, purposely choosing to focus our thoughts on specific truth. This is one of our 12 spiritual powers that we teach about. It's the power of power. It's also our throat chakra. It's that part of ourself that can choose what we want to say, to be authentic, to speak words of truth. So in our Unity teachings, it says positive thinking is a definite step toward healing. God has given us the power to think, and our thoughts can either hinder or put us on the forward path. You must refuse to let thoughts of inharmony and negation enter your mind. Center your thought on God. Think about God and God's healing, cleansing, vitalizing life flowing in and through you. If you just wrote down those 3 words, healing, cleansing, and vitalizing life are flowing through me now, and just meditate on that. 5 minutes a day, you'd be amazed at what would change in you. Let go anxious, fearful thoughts, for they keep you from thinking about wholeness and perfection. Remember that God created you in God's image and likeness, which is not a physical male body on a throne, but God's image and likeness is of spirit, perfect life, perfect strength, perfect power. God's life and health fill every part of your being. Every cell is alive with energy and vitality. Those are the type of things that we want to think about, even in the midst of symptoms. Keeping your mind absorbed in the spiritual dimension. The presence of the kingdom is within you. Now, I'm not saying to deny that you have symptoms. I'm just saying acknowledge that in the midst of the symptoms, there's also the presence of perfection and wholeness expressing through spirit. So which one will we choose today? There was a story early in Myrtle's healings that's told. How did this happen? She basically was at home with one of her little boys, Lowell, and there was a knock on the door, and it turned out to be a salesman, and she invited him in like none of us would ever do today. And as soon as the little boy heard salesman, he was all over that. He wanted to see what the guy had. So he was hovering, and she started to introduce, this is my son Lowell, and suddenly the salesman looked at the little boy, and he said, well, my little boy will never see again. And she immediately denied that of him. And she began to talk about her own personal healing. She had been given 6 months to live because of tuberculosis. And then she discovered that she was a child of God and did not inherit sickness. And she began to see herself as a perfect spiritual being, untouched by tuberculosis. And within 2 years, she was healed. And that created the healing and prayer ministry that Unity still is practicing today. So she told him about her story, and he said, would you come and see my son? And so when she got there, she said that his eyes looked like they were covered with the white of an egg. Didn't faze her in the least. She just began to talk to this little boy. And she talked about speaking words of truth to him until he began to realize that truth. And what she said was he was a beloved child of God, that God loved him and God's will for him was perfect sight. So she left, she came back for a second visit. His sight had improved so much that he was able to go to the door himself, open it up and let her in. And in a short time, as she continued to visit with him, his eyes completely healed. And the word got out, and people started showing up at Myrtle's door with their own problems. And she said, she gave them all the same response. She said they were God's beloved children, and God's will for them was health, that the healing power of the Christ was in them, and they too could have perfect wholeness by realizing this truth. So first of all, God's will for them was health. How do we know that? Because of the divine idea for the body was designed to live in health. And then she said that the healing power of the Christ was in them. Is this Jesus, the man, Christ in them saying, okay, I have sympathy for you, I'm going to heal you? No. It's the presence of Spirit, the Christ, the one Christ, everywhere present, expressing uniquely as each one of us that's within us, that's holding that idea, that divine idea, that is sending that divine intelligence out to the intelligence of the cells. It's always present. The work must be done in us to allow our communication of cells with the communication of spirit. trusting that it's present. You can be throwing up, sorry about that, and at the same time, remember, there is a perfection in me that is of spirit, and its power is greater than the physical that's happening in my body right now. And the more that I look at that perfection and wholeness and feel it and realize it, that's what she was trying to get to, is them realizing this truth, the more that the cells started to sync with that divine language that was being spoken all the time. So she was teaching them ideas that weren't normal for church-going people. Most church-going people think of God as punishing you with sickness. Or they think that because they're a sinner, they aren't good enough to be healed. So for her to say it's God's will for you to be healthy, God wants your good for you, God's present in you, giving you that goodness right now, that was a big change for them. And that's what inspired them, raised their vibration to a higher way of being as they understood truth. Now, here's another thought from Esther Hicks that makes a lot of sense to my left brain. So let's see if this works for you. She says, there are not enough actions in the world to compensate for vibrational resistance. In other words, you can go see as many doctors as you want, but as long as you are going to hold on to a vibration of hate or sadness or helplessness, any kind of negative emotion becomes chronic in you, you can go to all the doctors you want, but it's just going to come back. You understand that? She says, by focusing simply upon your vibrational relationship with the energy of your source, aka God, spirit, you will be distracted from any unwanted conditions of your physical body. And as you withdraw your attention from those unwanted conditions, they will cease to exist. What we focus on expands. What we release and let go of disappears. When you understand that you're a vibrational being first and foremost, that spirit made of spiritual energy, that is really your entire nature as a spiritual being, and that your dominant intention becomes that of tuning your frequency to that of the source within you, you will provide the perfect basis for the cells of your physical body to thrive. In the midst of the illness is the allness of God, and God is perfect and whole. Sickness does not touch us at the level of our spirit. So yes, you're taking up residence in a lower, slower physical body that can get sick. But at the same time, you can move in consciousness to who you are as a spiritual being, which is untouched by the symptoms or the germs, the illness of any kind. So how do we get there? How do we tune our consciousness to align with God? Choose any divine idea that seems to address whatever it is you're going through. Up here on the screen, just take a listen to these words and feel their vibration. In other words, what frequency are these words singing at when you take in the meaning of the word? Health, wholeness, life, balance, strength, power, love, harmony, allowing, flow, freedom, purity, comfort, peace, serenity. This is God. This is what God is. God doesn't give these things. God is these things. God is health. God is peace. And so we're here to tune our mind to these ideas of God. God just is. And oh, by the way, think of a divine idea and God is expressing as that. God will not give you peace. God is peace, and we tune in with that peace and realize I am peace. I am is basically your password for getting into your spiritual vibration. I am, finish the sentence with a divine idea, okay? So I saw some of you taking pictures, great idea. These slides will be available on our website later. Just meditate on any one of those words. You know, if you're dizzy, go for balance. I am balance. I am perfect balance. If you're feeling weak, I am strength. You are that because God is that, and God is everywhere present, and you are one with that. God is expressing as you. Will you allow that frequency to be that high so that now your cells have just been raised up to the level where they can start to hear the divine mind saying, hey, Mr. Cell in your bottom toe, do this instead. And it starts to follow the direction. I wholeheartedly believe that this is the truth of my being. And the more I give it attention, the more I start to see it expressing. And you've got a few other powers that will help you get there. And one of them is your power of imagination. What you want to do is use your ability to picture the truth of who you are until you can see it in your mind's eye and your body starts to feel excited and enthused about that. When you get to feeling some kind of gratitude or acceptance, you are radiating that frequency so loud that the universe can only bring it to you. So choose the frequency, choose the word, choose the idea, meditate on it until you start to feel peace. You start to feel contentment. And that's when you know, when you're feeling content with those words, that you're starting to rise up into your spiritual frequency where there is no sickness. That's how Jesus healed. He didn't stand there and want to hear their sad story. He just knew who they were as spiritual beings and totally disregarded symptoms. He went right for get up and walk. He just knew who they were as spiritual beings and told them as a spiritual being, this is what you could be doing right now, get up and walk. Just depends on which way you want to look at this. So use your picturing power until you feel that enthusiasm and your body will start to respond. It may take a while. For Myrtle, it was 2 years. For Charles, his leg was 3 inches shorter than the other one due to an accident as a child. And yet, once he got a hold of how these principles worked, he began to work with his leg night after night after night after night. By the time he died at age 94, it was only a 1-inch difference. So, how much time do you want to give? How valuable is your health to you? How much do you care about being healthy and able to get out and walk around? I know that a lot of you have taken these principles in and said, so I'm to blame? Anybody had that thought? I'm to blame for the reason that my body is the way it is? Lord. Do you want to argue for your limitations or do you want to feel better? I'll talk to you afterwards, John. Hold that question. Yeah, I'll talk to you because...
I just wanted to tell you, my aunt was a Christian Scientist, and she never had a cold.
Yeah, Christian Science. Where did you think? Christian Science coming together. Same idea that we're talking about here. So, spirit is meant to intertwine with the physicality of us, but it's meant to be the director. The master sitting in the carriage, not the horse of emotions that go crazy on us, not the willful driver of the carriage, but the master within that says, this is where we're going. And everybody listen. So we're using our positive feelings, our power of imagination to get to that communication stream again so that the body can start to respond. One of the things up here on the screen that you might want to practice is before you get up in the morning, imagine feeling refreshed as you step out of bed. A lot of times we lay there in bed and think, crap, I do not want to get up. Or give your body a little help and consciously choose to see you bounding out of bed, feeling refreshed. Get to the feeling of it, feeling refreshed. When you're active in the busiest part of your day, imagine before you get there that instead of feeling irritated by something, you feel strong, you feel capable, you're ready to take the next step. Use that power of imagination so that when you are seeing yourself preparing your meal for dinner, that you're enthused about the process, not grumbling about the fact that you got to cook dinner again, but that it's a fun experience for you. When you're relaxing at the end of your day, imagine yourself feeling content. No matter what the day went like, imagine yourself when I get to the end of my day today, I'm putting my feet up and I'm just going to focus on the word contentment. Prepare the path ahead of time. When you're drifting off to sleep, imagine yourself, when I go to sleep tonight, I don't care how badly I slept last night, tonight I can see myself when I close my eyes to feel grateful for my day and grateful for a deep sleep. Are you following? You're in charge. So see yourself living your best physical life with vibrancy. Give your body an edge by helping it along. One last story that Joseph Murphy told. He wrote a lot of books that are related to these principles. And a woman told him that she had been diagnosed with epilepsy and had been facing it for no reason, it seemed. It just came upon her. So she was having seizures. They were giving her phenobarbital every day, and she was just unable to make it stop. So she was listening to the radio one day, and she heard Dr. Joseph Murphy talking about how they had been doing psychosomatic research on people who struggled with epilepsy. And they had seen kind of a pattern of those with either living with suppressed emotions or, in her case, intense hatred and hostility toward her parents. That it was common for people who had that type of experience in life to have epileptic seizures. So she began to pray systematically. She said, I was pouring out love and goodwill toward my parents till I could meet them in my mind and be at peace. Every night and morning for about 6 months, I repeated slowly, God is healing me now. And one morning, I knew I was healed as a tremendous feeling of joy welled up within me. I stopped taking the drug and went to my doctor. Or she could have gone to her doctor and stopped taking the drug in that order. I'm not promoting either one. The doctor conducted the usual brain tests. All were negative. No more sign of epilepsy. That was almost 4 years ago, and I haven't had an epileptic attack since. So they were reasoning this out and thinking that suppressed negative electricity, think vibration, think energy of the being, needed a negative outlet, and expressed as epilepsy in her case. The 5-word formula, God is healing me now, sank into my soul, and I am eternally grateful. Grateful, a feeling, a divine idea. It's true, she said, that love is the great healer. So, we start as a divine idea. This body starts as a divine idea in the mind of God, created for well-being, designed to communicate to the physical cells from that blueprint of how to express in well-being. And our human consciousness must align with spiritual consciousness in order for these two frequencies to meet and communicate, hand off the information from spirit to body. The thoughts must meet. The energy of your thoughts must meet. Really, everything that's happening here isn't so much a language that's going on with English. It's a vibration. Spirit is a vibration. Your body's a vibration. We have to vibrate at the same frequency in order for it to communicate. So when we get to negative thoughts and feelings, we are moving out of communication range. And the cells are just going to do the best that they can, following whatever energy you're giving them at the time. I've been grieving the loss of my best friend for 50 years. Some of you know him. His name was Gordon Herzog. So that's been lowering my energy. Should I stop grieving? No one answers that for me but me or for you. But there will come a time where I will know, my heart will say, we're not going to let that dominate my thoughts. And I'm going to shift my consciousness to Gordon today. He's probably right here with us. He's probably whispering in my ear. He's got a lot to say all the time, blah, blah, blah. Just kidding. Don't get me started. So you're going to know, follow your heart. Am I just like caught up in this negativity of life because I'm too lazy to move out of it? Or is it completely overwhelming? Is it time to see a psychiatrist for help with this or spiritual counseling? Am I ready to just let it go on my own? Grief is a touchy one. It's difficult to say, everybody stop after X number of days. So just keep listening to your heart on that one. But for the most part, we're talking about remembering, I'm designed to be healthy. If I'm not healthy, there's a good chance that what I'm giving my attention to right now is not aligned with God. It's based on error thinking. And so it's now my opportunity to adjust my thoughts so that I adjust my feelings. I can use my power of imagination to see what I desire to be true for my body until I can see it in my mind and I can feel the health of it. I can feel the joy of getting back to normal until that energy is beginning to inform my entire being. Everything's coming together in a natural state of well-being. It's not easy, I know. I know. And when I was overwhelmed, it felt like, by that Bell's palsy issue, you know, it's lasted months, and it's been an opportunity for me to continually ask, what is it that is interfering with my ability to speak or use this language part, my being authentic, saying my truth, being able to speak about who I really am? And I told you that story that came pretty quickly after this came on, was that I was not being able to be myself with some of my beloved family members. So, you know, once it comes upon you and you get the aha moment, it doesn't just go away. It takes time to shift that energy back into that higher place of being. So I work on that. And as I said, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy just because we know how the principles work. Takes time. Give yourself permission for it to take time. But what Myrtle would say is people give up too soon. They give up too soon. It's not going to be instant gratification here in the human way of life. It's going to be consciousness changing. And it took you years to get to this place of the consciousness that's getting in the way. It's not going to be tomorrow that you're going to be able to completely change your state of being. So give yourself permission to take time and don't give up. Okay? All right, so let's take some time in meditation and see if we can't just practice this for a little bit. If this is your first time in a meditation, good news, it feels really good. If you will allow it, it's simply just turning your thoughts towards God, and I will guide you to do that. So let's get the body out of the way by simply noticing it and scanning down through your body. And if you come across any parts of your being that feels heavy or constricted, we'll begin with that. So first, let's just take a deep breath. If you'd like to close your eyes, that will keep you from being distracted. And with every breath, you feel your body becoming more relaxed. Begin to sense your entire body, realizing it's filled with trillions of cells. Each cell expressing energetically and imagine each one of these cells expressing as individual bodies of divine light. And as you scan your body, noticing trillions of beings of light in you, just notice if there's any area that seems dimmer. Maybe it feels tense or painful or congested. If you identify that area, take a minute to invite love, the energy, the power, the consciousness of love to raise the dimmer switch, to bring more light to that area, cleansing, clearing, dissolving anything unlike God. And send gratitude for that divine light. See that light getting brighter in every part of your body. Knowing that that light is actually perfect love. And this light is perfect life. Love and life are getting brighter in every part of your body. Visualize these cells of light as perfect and whole, just as the Spirit's pattern is, perfect and whole. In their contentment, they're glad to follow the guidance of the divine mind present in you. Imagine each bright light alive with love and joy. Imagine that each cell is dancing in harmony with every other cell. We see these brilliant cells working together, laughing. Yes, your cells are laughing. Life is celebrating in every part of your body. Feel that whole body respond to this attention with relief. Feel comfort. Feel strength. Allowing flexibility. Every cell balanced. In perfect alignment with the divine mind. Every cell expressing in purity. Divine love enlivens me now. Hold that thought. Divine love enlivens me now. I'm am shining beacon of perfect light. I am a shining beacon of perfect life. Empowered by perfect love. This is the presence, the one power, expressing fully in this physical home I call a body. I make way for that perfection and wholeness to guide every cell of this body to its natural state of well-being. No matter what I do, where I go, what I'm confronted with, I can choose life. And so it is. Amen. This was meaty. I hope you watch it again and again and again. We archive our Sunday services online. Check out our YouTube channel. Until it starts to sink in and becomes an understanding, a realization, a knowing of how the universe is here to work with you and how you can choose to work with it. And to help you out, I'm going to host an online healing service this week on Wednesday. So if you'd like individual attention, or if you'd like to come and be a presence, beholding the light in others, you're welcome. Just go to our event calendar for Wednesday, and there'll be a Zoom link there to join us. Starts at 7 o'clock Central Time. And practice together. Everyone is worthy of well-being. It is God's will for us. It is the divine pattern already created for us. So now we just simply learn to open our hearts and shift our energy until we are expressing as the dominant truth of who we are, which is spirit, already perfect. Thank you for sitting here with me today to do this. And we'll take some time now in our service to share tithes and love offerings. If this is supporting you, if you feel like you've found a spiritual home or that you can relate to the nourishment that we offer here, please support it. We do that with our gifts. Whether you're online, you can do it at our website at unityinnaperville.org. If you want to mail a check to our P.O. box, it's 9733 in Naperville, and the zip is 60567. We have a credit card available to take your credit card out front if you'd like to do that. And our ushers are going to come forward and receive your gifts as well. Thank you for however you are choosing to support your spiritual community. And we'll sing while you're doing that. Thank you.
Kity, there was so much there today. So much there. And you know that one part of the story where you're talking about the salesman who came, and then she went to his home. I love that picture of, first, him opening the door and allowing her in, because that's where it happens, right? And the next, the next visit, the son opens the door and allows her in. And that's it, that we allow, that we open the door for this healing. first verse again. I allow goodness to come in. I am ready to receive. Yes, God. I allow the goodness to come in. I believe, and I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, and I believe, I believe, I believe. Sing it with me. I believe, and I believe, I believe, I believe.
You're right here, Rick. Thank you, thank you. Let's bless our gifts. The words are here on the screen. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you, Rick. Thank you all.
Hi, I'm Beth,
Hi, Beth.
and I'll be sharing your announcements this morning. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We're really glad you're here. Please complete the orange registration card at the welcome table and leave it at the info table. And we'll keep you posted about upcoming events. And virtual newcomers can sign up for the weekly e-news at unityandnaperville.org. Monday Morning Metaphysics will not meet tomorrow. The group will meet next Monday at 10:30. They're reading Shortcut to a Miracle, and newcomers are always welcome. The Grief Support Group meets online tomorrow at 7 p.m. See the event calendar for more information. Our women's group, Sisters in Spirit, will meet Tuesday here at Unity at 6:30. The group will work on a mission statement and the What's Your Personality event on April 5th. A second reminder, join Reverend Kity for a special online healing service on Ash Wednesday, March 5th at 7 p.m. Renew your sense of health and well-being in body and mind through healing prayer. If you can't attend, email prayer requests to unityandnaperville.org. Catchphrase game night is Friday at 7 p.m. Play the Grab It, Guess It, Pass It game. Catchphrase is an electronic game with words and phrases that's fun and challenging to play. Please bring snacks to share and $2 cash to fund the prize pot. Energy of Spirit with Cindy Spees meets Saturday at 10 a.m. for healthy hearts techniques and to help our bodies transition from the contemplative energy of winter to the let's go energy of spring. To register, email admin@unityandnaperville.org or sign up in the cafe. The suggested love offering is $10 to $20. Another sign of spring, remember to set your clocks forward 1 hour next Sunday for daylight savings time.
We get an hour then?
You lose an hour. I also read this morning that next Sunday is National Nap Day, so you can catch up on that hour you missed. Backroom discussion for our online viewers will meet next Sunday after the service. Our prayer chaplain today is Steve. He can pray with you in the prayer room after the service, or email your name and phone number to prayer@unityandnaperville.org, and a chaplain will call you today by 1 p.m. For details on all of our events, see the event calendar at unityandnaperville.org. And Reverend Kity has one more announcement.
Thanks, Beth.
So we're back around, another year has passed, and it's coming up on time to elect new board members. And if you are a member of Unity, you've attended a membership class, you're welcome to run. There are applications with a list of duties out on the counter in the cafe area. And we don't have much time, so if you're interested, then you want to get this taken care of and back to me by March 23rd. If you're not a member and you're interested in running for the board, attend the membership class, that's the next slide, that is coming up on March 23rd. And this is really for those who feel like, yep, no doubt, this is my spiritual home. This is where I want to be and grow and support in new ways. And members will attend a 3-hour class on the 23rd. Before that allows you to vote at the annual meeting, which will come up in April. So forms are out front for people wanting to run for the board, and you can sign up for the membership class if you haven't done that yet, because we will have handouts for you, and I want to make sure I have enough. There's lots and lots of food for that class, so come on, you can do it. All right, we have, no, it's birthday Sunday, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you were born in the month of March, would you please stand so we can wish you happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends.
Happy birthday to you.
I invite you to stand as you're able for our closing song. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Good. Okay, here's our closing affirmation for the week. Okay, so if you can't get your hands on something to read to uplift you, just look online for something beautiful like this to raise your energy. Let's say this together. Life loves me, and I love life. That's a vibration that you can create in your car as you're driving into work or someplace you don't really want to be going. Life loves me, and I love life. Now, I'm going to ask you to turn and find somebody that you can't remember their name. Reintroduce yourselves. Ask them one thing they heard today that they're going to chew on for a while, and then join us out front for some goodies. Love you guys. Have a great week. See you Wednesday night at the healing service.
I align with the vibrant life within me. All health is mine. I am whole and I am free. I align with the vibrant life within me. All health is mine. I am whole and I am free. Yes, I flow. I flow. And healing, pure stream, awakening, renewing, pure stream, moving in and through me now. The life of God in me, the life of God in me is a pure stream. Dance of life living as me, all I ever was and all I'll ever be. Yes, I'm guided by the dance of life moving as me. yes, I flow.